What is calorimetry used to find out? Now, these things help us with our understanding. Like, for titrations, well, they allow you to find out the concentration of an acid or alkali, or how much acid is needed to neutralize, how much alkali is needed to neutralize acid. For calorimetry, I see this come up quite a bit as well, and not necessarily practical skills. However, it does come up. I feel like I would, maybe you guys as well, and we do pretty badly on it. But what is calorimetry used to find out? It's used to find out how much heat is given out by a reaction by measuring a temperature change. Used to find out how much heat is given out by a reaction by measuring a temperature change. And now it says, describe how to find entropy of combustion of a flammable liquid. We want to burn it in a calorimeter. And as the fuel burns, it heats the water, and then we can work out the heat energy absorbed by the water as we're given specific heat capacity, the mass, etc., etc. And then ideally, all the heat given out by fuel as it burns would be absorbed by water, and therefore we can work out entropy of combustion exactly. However, that's not going to happen. Heat loss, incomplete combustion, evaporation of alcohol, etc., etc. And therefore we use the graph method, or use calorimetry to measure entropy changes in solution by adding acid, alkali, record temperature, and then find temperature change with using the graph method, as I went through in a previous video. But this is the inaccurate way of doing it, but it's still pretty important to know. Burn it in a calorimeter. As fuel burns, it heats the water. Burn it in a calorimeter. As fuel burns, it heats the water. Work out heat energy absorbed by the water. Ideally, the assumption is all heat given out by fuel as it burns in the calorimeter, or heat given out by fuel as it burns in the calorimeter, would be absorbed by the water. However, therefore we can work out the entropy of combustion exactly. However, that's not true. And also another thing, the diagram of this, drawing out this calorimeter. So you've got your stirrer, you've got your thermometer, water, air coming in, your fuel, your reactant, and you've got your combustion chamber. Now, would I recommend to memorize this? You don't really. I've seen a couple of questions in A level, maybe AS as well, where they ask you to draw diagrams, and they could potentially ask you to draw it. I'm not sure, but just, maybe drawing out a couple of times for an exam, you should be pretty good with it. So water, stirrer, thermometer, air comes in, your reactant, your fuel, which is the reactant, and your combustion chamber. And that is the end of this video.